Have I just found the new world's strongest beer at 70% alcohol? Let's go find out. I can't wait. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and fans and viewers, and everyone else in between. My name is Ruku, and today is going to be a fantastic beer review. Today's beer review, I think I've just accidentally found the world's strongest beer in the world. Although it doesn't claim to be the world's strongest beer in the world, I have done a little bit of research, and I believe it is. Purely because of the alcohol content. This is called Mystery of Beer. Comes in 70% alcohol. There we go, 70% alcohol. And it's a nice swing top. This is, I think, a 330. I have no idea because it doesn't say. And the sell by date when this should be drunk by is the 30th of December 2030. Fuck me, you're going to have a good time on that by then if it ages. Bit of information with this before I start. Reason why I think this is our strongest beer is because Strength in Numbers by Brewdog was supposedly the real strongest beer in the world because it was brewed naturally, supposedly, without any added alcohol. And this is where I know a lot of people are going to start arguing a toss with me because beers like this are brewed naturally to, say, 20-30% alcohol. They then add alcohol into it, thus not technically making it a beer. But then again, it is a beer. So it's the whole Boris Johnson, is it a beer, isn't it a beer? Do go out, don't go out. I still class it as a beer because it's still made the same way as a beer with the same ingredients as a beer: hops, barley malt, yeast, water and all that, sugar. But they add extra alcohol to up the content, as you know. So technically, I know a lot of people are going to go, well, it's not really a beer and it's not really the world's strongest beer in the world. But, you know, again, it depends on what side of the coin you're on. Brewed naturally, then Strength in Numbers is still the world's strongest beer. Added alcohol, this will be, because as we know, snake venom was 67.5% alcohol, and that was still technically the world's strongest beer, but because they don't add, because they add extra alcohol, a lot of people are saying, well, you can't class that as the world's strongest beer. It's not brewed naturally. It's added alcohol. Now, this comes in at 70%, so beating it by a little bit. And again, this has got added alcohol. So now I've cleared that shit up, you can make your mind up what side of the coin you're going to be on. I always go by the alcohol content. I don't care if it's got added alcohol or not. As far as I'm aware, this technically is the world's strongest beer, but again, you can argue all day long. And I'm not going to get in any arguments amongst this. So if you're going to comment below giving it the whole, oh, it's not technically a beer, but you know, that's your opinion. Happy days. I'm just happy that I've got hold of this, and I can't wait to try it. But before I start, a little bit of information. I managed to translate the Dutch writing on the front, and there's your all different beers on the front there. I'm not sure what that's about. So this company I can't pronounce. I will send you the link in below of the name of the company. I'll pin it in the comment section below so you know the company that make this. They have been in the race for the world's strongest beer for quite some time. And again, if you've seen my previous world's strongest beers, you'll know the history. If you don't, then I'm sorry, I'm going to probably bore you to tears. But if you want to fast forward, just fast forward. So, this is from Holland, i.e. the Netherlands. I'm not sure it's actually from Holland, but it's from the Netherlands. And they started the race quite early on, so quite later on. So you had Brewdog and the German company Schellsbra kind of battling it out for a little while. The Americans, I think, started it with like Utopia, Samuel Adams Utopia, which is like 21%, and so on. And the Americans subsided. Then it was between the Scottish, i.e. Brewdog, and Charlesborough, the Germans, and they were head to head for a lot of years. Got to the point then where it was getting quite ridiculous. You know, we hit 40 odd % alcohol up until late. Strength in numbers, I think was it 50 something, 58, 57, I can't remember now, it's been a while, and they held the current record. But this company here was about halfway into that war between the Scots and the Germans, and they came back with Start the Future. I can't remember what % that was, but it was really high, and for whatever reason they didn't enter the race anymore, so it then kind of got claimed back by the Germans and the Scots and so on. And then the Scots came out victorious until late when they did Strength in Numbers, where the Germans and the Scots just decided to call it a day, shook hands and said, let's do a collaboration, make a beer between us, and let's make it a fucking good one. And they did. I tried it and it was lovely. It was a bit sweet for me and very, very potent in alcohol. So the people that made Start the Future have come back with this little baby at 70% alcohol. And just to remind you that it is the same company, they've even put Start the Future logo on there. So that just proves that it's the same company. So this beer then, actually made with spring water, so I'm looking forward to that. It's made with spring water and they use 6 different types of hops. And the hops are actually grown in their own beer garden. So they've got their own like little hop garden out there somewhere on premises, which is a fantastic way of doing it. It's all organic. It's all done by the brewery. And I love people that do that because you're self-sustaining. You know, you don't need help outside. You've got your produce there. You're brewing, you're making, happy days. So that, you know, that's what's in it from what I know. I think they use, I can never pronounce this right, so feel free to mock me. Was it Hallertag hops they use for this? But the next bit of information before I crack this open, and you're probably just like, hurry up and just get on with it. This bottle cost me a whopping £64, and here's the invoice to prove it. I've just chopped off my address, but you can see says there for one bottle £64 with the postage, £70 in total. 70 quid for a bottle of beer. This better be fucking worth it. Okay, not much of a pop there. Maybe I should have tore the label off a little bit, but don't worry about that. Okay, good job about swing top. And also, you're going to laugh at this, but they actually, when I read this on the front, they actually recommend you have this in a shot glass. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. In a shot glass. This is weird, drinking a beer out of a shot glass. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Right, stick that back on. On you go. It's not a full shot glass, but that's like literally 3/4 of the bloody bottle gone. You're getting much for 70 quid. There you go. I don't know what that is. It's, as you can imagine, it's got no head because it's so strong. No carbonation because it's so strong. I don't know what colour you'd call that. I suppose a light yellow. I don't know. Mellow yellow is what I'm going to call it. A mellow yellow colour. Very see-through, as you can see. And here I am. I'm the first person, as I believe, on YouTube to try this. So you're watching this first. Today's date is, I think, the 8th of March 2021. So here we go. On with the smell and on with the taste. It smells really, really pleasant, actually. That is really nice. It smells a little bit of like a vanilla, a licorice, or like a sort of a candy, that sort of glucose, more glucose I would say, like a glucose smell, like a Lucozade Original mixed with a bit of vanilla. And I would say the smell of a single malt whiskey It's got that single grain smell from a whiskey, but without the burn in the nose. Cheers everyone to 70% beer, alcohol, whatever we call it. Jesus fucking Christ. That is fucking strong. My eyes are watering. See, my eyes have got a bit red. Eyes are watering. Surprisingly, very sweet and very clean. That is really decent. The alcohol burn is it's just relentless. Just relentless. You got a nice sweet flavour at the start of I don't know, maybe like a candy again, or a sugar, some sort of sugar, sort of sweetness to it. You can really get the spring water in this. It really makes it that bit smoother, that more cleaner taste. You can almost get like the mineral to it, that sort of real freshness. And that alcohol hit, it comes in. So you got like the flavour of the sweetness right away with that spring water. Within 0.5 or 0.1 millimetre of a second, the alcohol comes in and it just fucking burns. It's just burnt my mouth, burnt my tongue, and it's almost like a really strong whiskey in the sense, well, it goes above a strong whiskey because it's burned my mouth, burnt a hole of my insides, and then what happened then is it stopped on the inside, but then started up again. So it's almost like when you have like a Carolina Reaper, you think, oh, I'm over the worst of it, bang, the fucking heat's back again. This is exactly that. The heat comes back. Now, second taste, alcohol's not a problem. It just tastes like a standard whiskey. Nice burn, it's got a nice mellow taste to this. Nice sort of sweet mellow taste. I would liken this to Isle of Jura, the whiskey, Isle of Jura whiskey, but with just more alcohol content. It's nice and sweet, it's clean, really getting that spring water. It's mellow on the mouth. There's a lot of sweetness happening. Maybe a little bit of honey, maybe somewhere in there. It's not really overly hoppy. The burn is there, but it's sort of hit my throat, and now it's just hit here, so it's just gone bump and bump, and now it's doing the burn cycle here. Put a fucking lighter to that one. Sweet, subtle, light-bodied. Alcohol burn off the chart on the first sip. Second sip, don't notice it. Third sip is all I've had out of this. 3 sips, and the alcohol content is burning again on the third sip. But it leaves you on the aftertaste of just fire in the chest. A nice sweet aftertaste of like mellow honey almost. And again, I can only refer to it because it's hard to describe, but I would refer to this as an Isle of Jura style, as in the flavour that you get from Isle of Jura whiskey, but just with the alcohol ramped right up. And it does leave a pleasant aftertaste. You know, that first sip is lovely. You get a flavour, bang, alcohol, aftertaste, lovely flavour again. So, yeah, insanely drinkable if you can handle the burn. Once, as I say, once you've had the first sip, it's you know, it's there, the alcohol, you can't avoid it. Second sip, you don't notice alcohol. That is different to say the least. Different to say the least. And again, the sell by date on this being 2030 is just insane. Absolutely insane. So, do like a mini shot again, just 70% alcohol. Look at that, it's 3/4 of the bottle gone. Look. You can see the line there. I tell you what, it's warmed me up nicely. I wasn't cold, but I'm now extremely warm. Now it takes on a different character again. More mellow. More mellowness. That's almost like a JD honey, in the sense that it's got that mellow charcoalness to it. Wow. This beer just keeps on giving different flavours. Just gets sweeter every time, but you get more mellower. My breath is on fire. That is insane. Okay, was it worth the money spent on this? Oh God, my tongue is burning. Was it worth $64.99 for 330? That's 70%. Yeah. If you want to be stupid like me and you want to burn your nuts off, then yeah. And if you want to spend ridiculous money, yeah. But I didn't do it for that. I done this purely because I've always had the previous World's Strongest beers, always. I've had about 6 of them now, and this will be in the collection, so it's going in my collection, and at least I can say that I've had it. And again, it's a YouTube first, no one else has done this, so you saw it here first, although others will probably get around a bit quicker than my review will, but hey, what would I score this? Well, I'm not going to actually score this, because it's unfair to score it, but I will say I would buy it again, probably for a special occasion. And to be quite honest with you, again, it's not for everyone. If you don't like the burn, if you don't like, if you just want a proper beer, you know, with flavour, carbonation, a head, don't buy this. But if you're like me and you're a little bit experimental and you want to try these things, then by all means, if you've got the money, go and buy a bottle. Go and buy a bottle. It's insanely strong, but yet the flavours are the complete opposite. The flavours are mellow and the alcohol is off the chart. They've done chalk and cheese, but it works. Wow, what a great beer that is. How long will this last me? I don't know. Probably not long. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the review. I know it's been a long one, but I just wanted to cover all bases. And there it is again for anyone who wants to go and fetch this out. It's Mystery of Beer, 70% alcohol. It's a 330 all the way from the Netherlands. Those Dutch, they are mental. Join me next time, some more beer reviews.